Shalom, it's Reuben Ebrahimoff, the Haftorahman, and this week's Haftara is for Parashat Shemot, for the Ashkenazim. So, we read in the parasha that Yaakov and his entire family, Haba'im Mitzrayma, and that is the word that connects to the Haftara. There are many other connections. Here we go. We're in the book of Isaiah. Isaiah the prophet lives in Jerusalem. He's addressing the 10 northern tribes. They're about to be exiled. And also he's addressing the tribe of Yehuda and Binyamin, the Jerusalem tribes. And he's trying to explain to them how to avoid this self-inflicted spiritual pain and exile. So let's see how it goes. It starts off, Haba'im Yashresh Yaakov, that he's now speaking that in the future, the ones that come to the land of Israel are going to plant themselves. Yatzitz ufarach Israel. Sorry about the head tilt. So now, you have the Jewish people being promised by Isaiah that you can go back to the land of Israel and take root in the land. It says, you will take root. But let me ask you something. This punishment that you're going to get, and now you have not only onomatopoeia, but you have the words alliteration going hakamakat makeu hikahu im kehereg harugov horog. So in other words, midah keneged midah, measure for measure. God has taken your enemies and punished them, measure for what they did, maybe even more. B'sa'asa'ah b'shalcha tirivena. So here, the Egyptians that threw you into the Nile, now look what happened to them. They went into the Nile River. But now, our problems, many of them in life, whether it be today or back in biblical times, are self-inflicted, personally or as a community. And here you have the command by Isaiah, stop worshiping Asherah and Baal. You're bringing upon yourself this exile. So here, it's saying your enemies that are so threatening to you, they'll be like a ghost town to you if you cut off worshiping idols. Then you have the famous pasuk, two of them, Tekah b'shofar gadol, that we say in the Tefillah every day, that blow on this great horn of shofar. This is when they come back to the land of Israel on Mount Zion. And now you get the singing Haftorahman. Uva'u ha'uvdim me'eretz Ashur ve'hanidachim be'eretz Mitzrayim ve'ishtachavu l'Hashem be'har HaKodesh Yerushalayim. So now, you have the promise that you can avoid this. But if you don't avoid the exile, you will come back to the land of Israel. And the ones that were lost and exiled in Assyria and the ones that were in Mitzrayim, they will once again bow down to God in the holy house of holy and in Jerusalem. Then, the kingdom of the 10 tribes, you have the 10 northern tribes, what are they doing? The leadership, they're alcoholics. It says right here in the Haftara that these people are drinking and that they're vomiting at the table and that they are just doing things that are not right, and that God is saying through the prophet Isaiah, listen, this is not a way to behave. If you're a chosen people, if you're kadosh, I'm kadosh, a holy people, this is not the way that you behave in front of God. This is not the way to do it. So stop what you're doing. And that, it says, Isaiah is stumped. He says, God told me to go talk to the Jewish people. He says, look, there's nobody to talk to. These people are idiots, spiritual, they become idiotic. And in beautiful onomatopoeia, you have here, no, actually, you should also say alliteration, that he says, you know what? I got to talk like you talk to a baby. Tzav la tzav, kav la kav. He's saying to them, itsy bitsy, step by step, da da, ma ma. To teach these people from the beginning how to worship God again. Then you have this amazing thing. Here, there's despair. But now the Haftara comes to an end, jumping into a next paragraph, just so it ends on an up end. And what is the promise? The promise is, you know what? Abraham, your descendants, Jacob, your descendants, they will not embarrass your face. The day will come where they will be back in the temple and they will be sanctifying my name of God to the world. That is the Haftara for Parashat Shemos from the book of Isaiah. So, what do we learn from all of this? Many of our problems are self-inflicted, self-imposed by neglect, by self-denial, self-deception, spiritual self-deception. And the point of the matter is that we could avoid all of this if we just listen from the beginning to what we should be doing and stop rebelling against what's good for us. Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy the Haftara.